Hello guys, this is Fariba from Watch Knitting, and today I'm here with this knit hat tutorial, the Beret hat with two color brioche stitch. The cool thing about this hat is that you can wear it both sides. I used fall colors and it's super cool, fits very well. If you would like to learn how to make it, stay tuned. Let's jump right into the materials. For this mesmerizing two-color beret, I used about 60 grams of 95% acrylic Oran flag from Red Heart Super Saver line. This is number 4. Also, I used around 30 grams of a finer yarn, probably a DK or a lightweight size 3. In a reddish orange shade with a little metallic gold flecks. The yarn beads are different, which adds more texture to the pattern. I also added a little knob on top to finish the look. It gives the braid a really polished finish. I'll show it at the end. Now let's take a look at the rest of the material I used. I worked with a 16-inch circular cord size 2.5 millimeters. I also used 2 other pairs of needles to help with symmetrical cast on, one pair of 2.5 millimeter needles and another pair of 3 millimeter straight needles. You can use straight needles, circulars, or DPNs, whichever you are comfortable with. Other basic tools I used: a measuring tape, a pair of scissors, and a stitch marker. The marker isn't necessary. You can just make a small loop out of scrap yarn and use that instead. Okay, let's get started by casting on. Now I will start with casting on 64 stitches with this yarn, and I'm gonna use 3 millimeter needles to cast on. I will consider about 100 centimeter for the cast on tail. This point here. For the first and the last 2 stitches, I'm gonna use just one of the needles. This will prevent loose stitches at the join in the round, and that will give seamless edge. Then I add my other needle to get the larger loops, because you need a large loops for the symmetrical brioche rib. Make sure not to pull the yarn tight, otherwise you're gonna have hard time working on the first round. I will continue to cast on 64 stitches with this yarn. Before the last 2 stitches, I will remove my needle and cast on with one of the needles, like what I did at the beginning. In total, I'm gonna cast on 64 stitches with contrast color and 65 with the main color. I will fast forward through the rest of this color. So here I'm gonna remove and add another 2 stitches and tie the end. And as you can see, my stitches move very easily. I will put this one aside. Now I'm going to use my main color and 2.5 millimeter needles. I will cast on 64 plus 1 stitches. I will consider a slightly longer tail for this one because this is thicker yarn. I measure about 120 centimeter for the tail. The same thing here. I just use one of the needles at the beginning and cast on 2 stitches. Then add the other needle and cast on the rest. Now I'm at the end. I'm gonna remove my needle and cast on another 3 stitches. And last one will be deducted later. So I will tie the end. Now you can pause the video and prepare both and come back to the next part. And now we're gonna merge 2 colors. I take my circular needle in my right hand and hold the other 2 needles in my left hand. Recall we had 65 stitches here and the other one had 64 stitches. I start picking up stitches one at a time from each needle, starting with the main color, the one that we cast on 65 stitches with. I call that color the main color and the other one the contrast color. Take your time picking up stitches in the right order. Otherwise, you will have to start over. It will take a bit of time to pick up everything. So I'll fast forward this part. I end up picking up my last stitches. So make sure that your first and last stitch will be the same color. As mentioned before, one of these stitches will be deducted in the first round, changing the number of stitches to an even number for brioche rib. Right now we have 129 stitches together. After deducting one stitch, we continue to the rib stitch with 128 stitches. Also pay attention that for one color brioche rib, you should consider much less stitches to cast on, about 2/3 of your stitch count. I have a full tutorial on that. I will put a link down below. In that video, I give you all details on how to calculate the stitches for the cast on. Now hold the end with working yarn in the right hand. I'm gonna get rid of my extra tails here just to make it easier to work. I have my yarn in my right hand. I make sure everything is in the right order. Also, I usually don't use a stitch marker, but for this tutorial, I'm gonna use this stitch marker to give you a better visual of my job. So what we're gonna do next, we're gonna start with the main color. That's the brighter color. Now I'm gonna transfer one of the stitches from the right needle to the left, and then I will knit together these stitches to connect my circular. I knit two together through the back loop. I forgot to place my stitch marker. I'm gonna put it here. And then for the brioche rib, you're gonna make a yarn over, then slip one, yarn over, and then slip one stitch. Notice that we are working with the main color. Yarn over is with the main color, but the stitch being slipped is the other color, the contrast color. And then we knit one stitch. And repeat again. Yarn over, slip one. This is called a SL1 yaw in short. These two stitches are paired now, and they will be worked together in the next round. This round is the base round or setup round. For the entire brioche rib, the steps are very similar. Always there is a yarn over slip one combined with either a knit stitch or a knit together or purl together, depending on which round you are working. So this is the repeat for the setup round: slip one, yarn over, and knit one. And if you take a look, I do the SL1U in one motion, and that makes it very easy and fast to work. And now you notice that if you don't have loose stitches from cast on, it's gonna be very hard to work on this stitch. Again, a good point to help you to remember the brioche rib in symmetrical colors is that you do the SL1U with the opposite color. This is my brighter color, and I pick up the contrast color. Next round, when I'm working with the contrast color, I will pick up the main color. So every round we switch the colors. This round, which is the setup round, we started with main color. Next round we will switch to the contrast color and so on. This round we are combining SL1U with knit stitch. Next round we will combine it with purl together. It will be one round of purl and one round of knit. There will be very obvious clues to help you decide which action is next. If you still think that you need more practice to feel comfortable with this stitch, I have another full tutorial for symmetrical brioche rib. You can refer to that. I will put the link down below. I'm gonna work on this round off camera. You can now pause and work on your pace. And we will meet at the end of the round. Now I'm toward the end of the setup round, and you will see that I'm gonna finish with yarn over slip 1, yarn over slip 1. So I leave my yarn over here in the back and bring the contrast color to the front. Later I have to pass my yarn through the circular. What happens here, I will remove my stitch marker. This has to be on top of here. So we ended the last stitch being a slip 1 yarn over, and then I put my stitch marker. Looks like in the previous round I placed it after my knit together. I will correct it now. Now I change the other color, and what comes next? Now here we are at the point the first and last stitch meet, and we switch to the next round. At this point, always the last and first stitch are worked the same way. We did this the 1 yarn over on the last stitch. Again, here we will slip 1 yarn over for the first stitch after the marker. The only difference is that the colors now are switched. But again, we're gonna slip the opposite color. And then we have 2 paired stitches. We're gonna purl them together. So those stitches were slip 1 yarn over in the previous round. Again, here I have 1 single and then paired stitches. I do still 1 yaw over the opposite colors, and this is the knit stitch you see. Then the next should be purl because we are working on a rib stitch, and that's one clue that help you to figure out which stitch you have to make. Still 1 yaw and purl together. Those are lots of clues that help you remember this stitch and makes it very easy to follow. So 1 round you purl together, and that is called your purl round, and this is my purl round. And 1 round we knit together, and that is called knit round. We can also assign each color to each round. Then always when I'm working with the orange color or the contrast color, then I will work a purl round, and it means I will combine SL1 yaw with purl together. So we're gonna repeat the same thing for the rest of this round, and I'm gonna fast forward through the rest of this round. You can pause here and we meet at the end of the round 1. Now toward the end of round 1, I made my SL1 yaw. Then I make sure that I have my yarn from the previous yarn over from the previous round beside the stitch here, and then like this, and then I make my last purl together. I finish my round with purl together. I leave the yarn at the back and pick up my other yarn, transfer the stitch marker. Personally, I don't use the stitch marker for this stitch because I know when there are 2 similar stitches beside each other, that's where the switch, the color switch. So we finished with purl together, as I said. When we are at the join, we're gonna switch to the next round, and that will be start of round 2. We're gonna switch the color and start with the same action we did at the end of the previous round. Then I'm gonna do knit two together for the start of this round with the main color, and this round will be called a knit round. Always knit round will be worked with the main color. And again here, the SL1 yaw is over a single purl stitch, and then knit two together. SL1 yaw, knit two together. Again, this color, the main color, or the brighter color, is used for a knit round. So this round is similar to what we did in the base round, but with this difference that right now we are doing knit two together instead of knit stitch, and we are picking up the contrast color while making this the one yarn over, like what we did in setup round. So the next round, again, we're gonna repeat round 1. Every round we're gonna switch colors, work purl round with contrast color, knit round with main color, and always the stitch before and after marker will be worked the same way. I will keep working on this round and another 3 rounds after this round off camera. I will be back at the end of round 5, the purl round. That will be about 1 inch or a little bit more. And after that, I'm gonna work on increasing to shape the pancake look of the beret. Now I have worked another 5 rounds. I finished with a purl round with purl together. Next I will work with main color to work a knit round. A quick clue to figure out where you left off your knitting: look for yarn overs. The working color must be the opposite color. Now we worked one base row and then worked 5 rounds. Now recall that I have 128 stitches. I'm going to divide them evenly over 8 sections. I will do the first increase at the beginning of the round. So to increase in the brioche, you just knit as usual. Then before leaving the leg of the stitch, you do a yarn over and you work again into the same stitch. And that gives you 2 extra stitches. One will be one yarn over and the other one will be paired to purl or knit together in following rows. And now I'm gonna continue count 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and here again I'm gonna do increase, knit into the stitch, yarn over, and knit into the same stitch. Again, work another 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and again increase. And each time you see that our increases are on top of the knitted together, and that gives a nicer look. Either way you wear the braid, you're gonna have very nice look on both sides. The next round will be the setup round for those nose stitches that we added, and it means that they will be worked as a single purl with the contrast color, and then later they will match the rest of the stitches. So we're gonna do we're gonna make the one yarn over out of one of them, and the other one will be purled in the next row, in the next round with the contrast color, and later from the following rounds they will be matching the pattern and will be worked same as the other stitches. We're gonna keep doing the same thing all over this round. Take your time to count your stitches. I think I'm almost halfway through this round. I'm gonna fast forward here and let you guys work on your own pace. Then we meet at the end of this round. Now I'm toward the end of round. I will count 7 stitches after my last increase, and here you see again I'm at the beginning and I don't need to do any increase because already been increased before. So now I'm at the end of the round. I place my stitch marker. We're gonna switch to the other color, and the last stitch was slip 1 yarn over, so we're gonna start with slip 1 yarn over again. Next, following the rest of the pattern, there should be a purl together, so I do my slip 1 yarn over. Following the rest of the pattern, there should be a purl together, but because this stitch is the one we increased and it still is not paired yet, then we simply purl it. Next, again we continue to the previous pattern, slip 1 yarn over and purl 2 together. I'm going to show it one more time here for the second increase. So your order always is the same. Here again I have increased stitches. I'm going to do a slip 1 yarn over and then purl the second one. Again, the pattern is a slip 1 yarn over and this is purl 2 together. So you're gonna keep working the same pattern until the end of the round, and from the next round you're gonna have the same order that matches the rest of the pattern. Then after this round, you're gonna continue working the pattern for another about 10 centimeters, depending on how loose you want your beret to be. And then after that point, we're gonna do our decreases to shape the crown. Now I have worked enough lengths to start decreasing the stitches to shape the crown. Here are the increased stitches right here. This is the back view also. We worked around 12 centimeter. Right now I have 144 stitches on my needle. I'm going to decrease the stitches every 10 stitches. So we're gonna work 9 stitches at the beginning, and then we're gonna do decrease after that. So I'm in the next round using the main color. I'm gonna count 9 stitches and work on them. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And here over these stitches, as you see, there is one knit stitch with yarn over, then purl stitch, and again a knit stitch with yarn over. We're gonna drop all those stitches to a single stitch. So I will start with my stitches. Recall that for increasing, I made the first increase at the beginning of the round, but for decreasing, first I will work 9 stitches, then I decrease. Now here for decreasing, we're gonna work over these stitches, a paired knit stitch, then purl stitch, again a paired knit stitch. We count pair stitches as one. What basically we're gonna do, we're gonna drop all these stitches to 1, which means we decrease 2 stitches. Remember when we were increasing, also we increased 2 stitches. That's because of the nature of the brioche, which is a multiple of 2. Um, Now for decreasing, we're gonna knit 2 together the first 2 stitches. These, the knit stitch with its yarn over and the purl stitch together. I'm gonna knit them together. I will loosen the stitches first to make it easier to work. Then knit 2 together. And then I will transfer the stitch to my left needle. And then I will get these stitches, the second knit stitch with its yarn over, and pull them over the last stitch. And that gives me a right slanting decrease, which I'm gonna do all the way around. Then I transfer this stitch to my right needle, and you see it kind of cutting this line here and slanting to the right. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And again here we're gonna do the decrease over these stitches. Like before, I'm gonna knit two together the first two stitches, then put it back onto the left needle, and then pull the second knit stitch over the new stitch, and you get your decrease. Repeat the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and again here, knit two together. I loosen them up, knit two together, put it back onto the left needle, and pull the second knit stitch with its yarn over to that stitch, and continue with 9 stitches. So we're gonna do all around this round until we reach to the beginning point, and there I will show you how we're gonna work the last decrease. So you can pause here, work on your own pace, and then come back for the end of the round. Now here I'm at the end of my round. Here at the end, again after 9 stitches, I'm gonna do my last decrease, and that will be using stitches from both sides. So these two will be knitted together from the from the end of the round. I purled it together, then put it back on my left needle. I place my contrast color at the back, place it on the left needle, and pull this over the other stitch. Don't worry about the orange color yarn. It doesn't make any changes as long as it's at the back. Now we're gonna switch to the contrast color and work the purl round. Now I finished my purl round. I'm here at the beginning of the knit round to work another round of decreases. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna continue doing this line over here, and that means next time we're gonna decrease over these stitches here, and that means I'm gonna work 7 stitches before that point. This is the yarn over. I will do first 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and right here we're gonna decrease here. So each time the interval will be 2 stitches less than the previous round. And you see that pulls over the right slanting shape. So we keep continue working 7 stitches, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 here. Now here again we're gonna do the decrease, and you don't need even count the stitches, but if you want, just make sure you have 7 stitches. Then I will decrease 2 stitches here, and again work another 7 stitches. We will keep continue doing the same thing until we are done with all the stitches. So we're gonna work 1 round of purl round with the contrast color, and then 1 round of decreases, and each round you're gonna the intervals 2 stitches less than the previous round. After this round you will work another purl round, then in the following round the decrease will be every 6 stitches, and so on. Every other round you will continue to decrease until only 1 purl stitch is left before the decrease. I will fast forward through the rest and meet you at the end. Now I have finished 8 rounds of decreasing, including the purl rounds, and this is the final look. Here I'm gonna show you which stitch I'm on now. I have only 1 purl stitch, then a knit stitch with its yarn over. Next, what I will do, I will drop each group of these stitches down to 1. And again here I'm at the knit round. Okay, right here I'm gonna pull the knit stitch with its yarn over the purl stitch, and then the new stitch, it's in the other color. I'm gonna knit that new stitch, and again here pull the knit stitch over the purl stitch and then knit it. One more time here, pull the knit stitch with its yarn over the purl stitch and then knit that stitch. We're gonna keep doing the same thing for this round, and drop all the stitches to the half. If you find it difficult to work, you can switch to DPNs, double point needles, but I feel I'm okay with just adjusting the cord over here. So I will work through the rest of this round and I will be back at the end. Now I'm at the end. Here I'm gonna cut my yarns. I think this much would be enough. And then I will get my tapestry needle, pass both yarns through that tapestry needle, and then we're gonna pick up stitches from the needle and pass through the tapestry needle. This is the end part of the hat. We are shaping the crown and it's almost done. After this step, I'm gonna work on the edge of the hat because we are making the edge at the end, and that makes it flexible. You can adjust the edge at the end. So now I'm gonna pull through the yarn all the way, and then I will stitch back and forth a couple of times to the stitches around that hole and just make it a little secure here. It's kind of passing through the same stitches over and over again. Now it's good enough. I will leave the tail for the knob later. So now I'm gonna turn the hat inside out. And I will work on the edge now. So here I'm gonna pick up my circular needle and find the join line and then pick up stitches from one side of the cast on edge. You will see those loops. Just pick up from one side. You can do either sides, but make sure that all the stitches are picked up from the one edge. So in total, you're gonna have 64 stitches. This technique helps you to adjust your hat brim at the end. And I think that's a good idea because you can make it tighter or looser depending on what you want to have. You don't need to work all the way around and then figure out it's loose or tight. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up my stitches and I will fast forward through the rest. Okay, now I picked up all the stitches and I picked up 64 stitches. I'm gonna get my main color and put alongside with my right needle, and then I will work one color brioche for the edge. You can use the other color if you like, but I prefer this main color for my edge. So like before, we're gonna do yarn over and slip one. Because I picked up stitches in other way, I'm gonna do the slip one from the front side, and then for the knit I will knit them as usual, but make sure that your holes are not very big. You can twist them if you like. So for this round, we're gonna work, it's like the base round we worked before, and the same, we're gonna do still one you yarn over, still one you knit one, The only difference is that all the stitches are the same color. So the next round will be like round one of the two color, and the only difference is that your color always is the same color. So when you are slipping your stitches, it's not gonna be the opposite color anymore. But if you pay attention, the stitch that you pick up, if it's knit stitch, then the purl, you're gonna purl next. And if it's the purl stitch, you're gonna knit the later stitch. And that's all for the brooch stitch. Also, if you need to have a look at the other tutorials I have another full tutorial for one color brioche in the round. You can go and check that one. I'm gonna put the link down below. For now, I'm gonna continue working on my base round for the edge, and I will fast forward through the rest. Okay, here now I'm at the end of the round. I finished with a cell-one yaw. So as before, the next stitch from the next round will be a cell-one yaw again, and it's gonna be with the same color exactly like the one that I did at the end of the round. So we're gonna have two SL1 yaws beside each other, and that will be the join, and then purl two together. If you look at your stitch, the one that you are slipping is the knit stitch, and then we purl two together. So one yaw and purl two together. This is knit stitch, and because I'm working in a rib, the next will be purl two together. So next round, when you are picking the as you are doing the SL1 yaw, you're gonna see that you are picking up the purl stitch, and then there is a knit two together after that. We're gonna finish this round with purl two together, and next round we'll start with knit two together. Okay, now I have worked enough to bind off the edge. For bind offing the edge, I'm gonna use a technique that gives very stretchy edge. So you need to measure about 3 times of the fabric you have, 3 times of the edge you have. I'm gonna make a little bit longer just to make sure I have enough tail, and then I will cut the yarn over here. Then I will get my tapestry needle, pass it through it. This is the technique I always use for binding off on brioche stitch, because it's very stretchy and doesn't make it tighter. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna pick up 3 stitches from the left needle, pass the yarn to the 3 stitches from the beginning of the needle, and then pull it through, and then drop the first stitch. Use your needle tip and just drop it. That's easy. And again, repeat the same thing. Pass through the 3 stitches from the left needle, drop the first one. It's super easy. It takes a little bit time, but it's worth it. Again, pass through 3 stitches from the beginning and drop the first one. So each time we are dropping one stitch, it's kind of locking that stitch with the yarn. Okay, I'm gonna do one more here, and then I let you guys work on your own pace, and then I will work. I'm gonna show you how to make the knob after this. And you see it's very stretchy and nice. Now we are almost done with the hat, and you can see how stretchy is the edge, and the technique we use for joining circular gives very good result. I'm gonna hide the tails later. And now I'm gonna work on the knob with the orange color here. I'm gonna use this water bottle cap plastic one, and my orange yarn. I will cast on about 10 stitches would be enough. You can do a little less or more, doesn't matter. I'm gonna cast on 10 stitches and then make a square with a stockinette stitch out of it. And then I will show you how to make it. I have a very tight end. Okay, and I'm gonna tie the end and start knitting stockinette stitch, one row of knit and one row of purl stitch. And I will be back when I'm done with my square. Okay, here I prepared my little square here with the stockinette stitch, and I cast off. Now I'm using tapestry needle. I pass it through the working yarn, and then I will get my water bottle cap and put it inside to the wrong side, and then I pull through all the edges toward the cap, inside of a cap, and then I will stitch back and forth couple times to secure them. Because it's gonna stay inside, it's not gonna show. You can do as loose as you want. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this part, and I don't want you guys to spend a lot here. So just loose the stitches back and forth couple times from each side, from each corner. And you see how beautiful it looks. Then next I'm gonna stitch it to the top of the beret. I did made another one for the other side as well. If you like just to have in one side also works. It gives very polished finish to your pattern and your project. Hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Feel free to leave your comments down below and let me know if you have any questions. Stay tuned for more tutorials from my channel, and always I'm looking for your tags. Whenever you are making anything from my patterns, you can tag watch knitting and share it. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned and happy knitting.